Hello out there and welcome back to my channel. I am actually going to be doing a pick a card reading. Pick a pile. Well, pick a card. Well, you're picking a card, and then I'm going to pull more cards for that card once you pick your card. You know what I mean. Anyway, I've never done one of these before, and I am wanting to get back into doing individual readings, but I haven't really read in so long because I've been studying tarot more than anything at this time. So I figured this would be a good way for me to sort of rehone my reading skills for reading for when it comes to reading for other people. So how it's going to work is basically you're going to pick a card that you are drawn to. I will go a little bit more into depth about this card, and then I will pull other cards to go along with that. And this is very general reading. I love listening to readings given by other people because sometimes there's little nuggets in there that I need to hear in regards to something I've been working on, something that just sometimes something I needed to hear for confirmation, or something I needed to hear to help me let go of something. So, with that said, this is The Alchemist, this is Mooncat, and this is Sage. I am using the Archeo cards by Nick Bantock. I'm going to be using the Forhaxa Tarot, the Posis Oracle, as well as the Messages from the Light meditation deck. So go ahead, pick your card, and I will put the links to each card, or the links or the timestamps to each card down below. All right, welcome back. Hello, my alchemists. So what I'm going to say, this card is about opening your eyes to see beyond the mundane, wanting something maybe more spiritual or more fulfilling, or feeling like there's something more, and being able to integrate a more fulfilled spiritual life into the life that you are currently living. It is embracing a spiritual philosophy and learning how to integrate it into this physical world that we live in. So this could be a reading for people who may be on the precipice of that. This may be a reading for somebody who is trying to figure out how to go about doing that. This could be a reading for somebody who has a desire for more, or sort of feels like there's something more than what they're seeing and experiencing now. So let's go ahead and lay your cards out. We have work and listen. Work and listen. Okay. Well, the spiritual path does require work. It's not something that is necessarily just going to come naturally to some people. Some people it may. I feel like some people have been feeling that connection for a long time, and they may be in other rigid systems of spirituality or religiosity that is causing them to be stuck in a dogmatic way of thinking. And it may take work to extricate yourself from that situation, but no matter what, understanding and learning spirituality on a really deep level is going to require more than watching a few social media videos and declaring that you are now, a practicing witch or a pagan or whatever it may be. It's hard work, and you have to really listen to yourself, trust your intuition, and learn new ways of being. And I think this listen card is very important because sometimes we think or feel we know more, even if we don't. It's sort of that ego coming out and saying, oh, okay, well, I know how to do that now. I'm just going to go off and do my own thing because I already know. So I want this spiritual life. This is what I've seen. So I don't need any more help, right? but it's going to be very important to listen to people who have already been walking that path. It's going to be important to listen and perhaps even gain a mentor, if possible, to help you begin to do this work towards living a very well-balanced life, which can lead to more fulfillment later on. Oh, sorry, I don't read reversals, so this is all upside down. We have the World, 5 of Earth, which is the 5 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Earth, which is the 9 of Pentacles. And I'm drawn to the 5 of Earth first, which is saying to me that there is a feeling possibly of some disconnect. And this could be because of a lack of spirituality, or not even spirituality, but connection to something bigger than yourself, right? I have found that if we're just going through life doing the things we're supposed to do because of what other people are expecting of us, it makes it difficult to connect in the way that we want to connect. If we don't have something bigger than ourselves or some sort of magic in our life, it becomes very boring and like a drudgery and something difficult to really work through. So it sort of defeats us. And seeing this 5 of Earth here with the Alchemist does make me feel like there could be a need to wake up to a higher way of living, a better way of living, and allow the way you're living now, a way that may be causing you sadness or heartache or keeping you stuck into old routines or patterns, that needs to come to an end so you can embrace the alchemy that is your birthright, essentially, because that's where you're going to find success. That's where you're going to get out of this space where you're feeling disconnected, where you're feeling like you've been left out of the pack, right? Like you don't feel connected to society. And it could be because there is this need for a higher way of living, for letting go of your ego, or I shouldn't say letting go of your ego. The ego is important, but not allowing your ego to rule your life. And let's see how we can work through this. Self-love is a very important aspect of this. And the 7 of Cups, or the 7 of Water, making the right choices. Not all choices that we make are going to be the best, even if they look like the best on the surface. So it's a matter of really taking a deep, hard look at each option that's before you before committing to the path, right? Learning to love and accept yourself as you are, who you are, and making the right choices to be able to live a more fulfilling life, right? Alchemy, it's about learning how to balance the inner and the outer worlds. Self-love is a very, very important aspect of learning to walk that path. And the 6 of Wands. This is a beautiful card to end the tarot with, because this is just victory. Like you are meant to live a life that is walking that middle path. You are meant to find that balance between the spiritual and the mundane. It's difficult these days, and I think this 7 of Cups or 7 of Water is really speaking to where are you getting your information from when it comes to living a more spiritually in tuned life? Who is giving you that information? There are many people out there who are not maybe the most educated on a certain system. They may just be seeing other creators. You know, if you're getting it from social media, they may be seeing other creators and doing it the way that the other creators are doing it. So it becomes this watered down sense of spirituality, and it's going to make it difficult to really walk that middle path, because the middle path involves us being on this physical plane. It's not all love and light all the time. We have to experience the heartaches in order to really appreciate the high times, right? Or the times where there's more elation. You have to have both. It's duality. Life is about duality. It's about the highs and the lows and learning to weather the storm when the lows are low, and learning how to do it more effectively. Or more effectively than we perhaps have in the past. So let's pull a meditation card for you. Let's see what we have. Nourishment. Feed yourself love. Feed yourself good things. If you are finding that you are in patterns of addiction, whether it's gambling, spending money, buying things to make yourself feel better, overeating, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, try to begin to think about how you can cut those patterns out of your life and really truly nourish yourself with good food, with walks outside, with just things that are going to make you stronger and healthier going forward. Because when your body is in alignment, then it's easier for other things, your mental state, your physical state, to fall into alignment with that as well. Even though your body is physical, but everything else kind of falls into alignment when you are feeling good. So it's very important to nourish yourself during this time. And I feel for you, my alchemists, this is about learning to help yourself, learning to love yourself, and achieving success through that self-love that may be missing from where you are right now, and learning it from the proper channels, even if sometimes it is and it will take a professionally licensed therapist to be able to help us safely begin to walk this path, and then find your spiritual teachers after. So thank you so much. I hope this helps, and I hope that you got even just a little bit something from it. All right, this reading is for those of you who picked Mooncat. And this Mooncat is all about aligning with your intuition, following the path of your curiosity to wherever it may take you. And sometimes your curiosity is your intuition telling you to go in a certain direction. So I feel like this is going to be for people who may need to learn to trust their intuition a little bit more than they currently do. The moon, it's the mysteries, it's what's hidden, it's what's subconscious, what's suppressed, and it's our job to figure that out, to learn that. And our intuition is always in tune with our subconscious. So our intuition is our subconscious speaking to us, and it's important to learn how to listen to it. We have change and union that just came out. It's over here. So let's see how those play in. Change and union. I mean, trusting your intuition can definitely help bring about positive changes, and allow you to unify the conscious and the unconscious mind, right? It's like this cat. I feel like this cat is the go-between between the conscious and the unconscious, and that being able to unify those two aspects of yourself, bringing what's unconscious to your conscious, is going to help bring about the change that you need in your life. But it's going to be very, very important to trust your tuition and your gut feeling when something comes up. For sure. Okay, so yeah, trusting, your intuition, listening to your intuition when going through periods of change is going to be very, very important for you, because your story hasn't been written yet. These are blank pages. You do not have a written story yet, and that story will be written when you can really understand what's been driving you. And your intuition may be telling you, but you may not be trusting it, and you have to allow that unification to help. That conscious and the unconscious working together is your intuition, right? The pattern recognition, the acquired knowledge of people and life and the things within our life. So let's take a look. We have 8 of Fire, which is the 8 of Wands, Page of Fire, which is the Page of Wands, and the 9 of Earth. And why was that reversed? Should I take that reversed? I don't know. Everything was upright. Anyway, let me go back to that in a second. But I do feel like with this 8 of Fire, you already are on this forward trajectory, trying to trust your intuition, trying to unify what's conscious and what's unconscious. There's change going on in your life and you're going in the right direction. Take this as confirmation of that, if that is indeed the case for you. The Page of Fire, or the Page of Wands, I always read that this is an explorer. This is someone who is ready. They have a burning desire and fire lit within them because they are ready to move forward, to do this work. And this did come out reverse. So it, to me, I am going to read it upright and reverse, but it feels like the success is meant to be yours, right? However, this feels like there's a blockage to that, achieving that success. And I think it goes back to here. It's this lack of unification, lack of trust in your intuition and how you're perceiving the situations. It may be overthinking or questioning things where they don't need to be questioned. What these feel like is you just need to do it. You just need to trust it and act on it, because that first thought, that first feeling that comes into your head is your intuition. And how many times do you not listen to it and you're like, oh, I should have done that because that's the first thing I thought of. So it's very important to listen to that very first thing that comes into your head before your rational mind comes in. And this 8 of Fire and Page of Fire is really driving that fact home. You need to just act on it. Act on that intuition when it comes up and don't overthink it, because if you do not act on it, that is going to be a blockage to your success in the work that you're going to be doing here. Okay? You are meant to be successful in this. It's just, there's just sort of something, it's a matter of trusting yourself. Like, you are in your way of your own success right here. And I'm not saying it's your fault, but sometimes when we get in our head, we are our own worst enemies sometimes, right? So, and there's the High Priestess with the Mooncat. How can you achieve this? How can you sort of begin to really trust yourself? And that is just trust your intuition, right? The High Priestess is like, okay, I'm here. Like, you have this. You know what you're doing. And sometimes it just takes strength. You just have to believe in yourself. And I have found, and I'm not going to speak for everybody, but for me, when I don't believe in myself, I'm weak. That's where the weakness comes in. If I don't believe in myself, of course I'm not going to trust my intuition, because it could be lying to me. But these birds are flying to the High Priestess here. She is making her way to the High Priestess. So this feels like there's this real desire. You truly want this, but you have to tame the beast. You have to tame the beast that is holding you back from this success, because you're just not believing in yourself as much as you should. You are an explorer. You are that fire. You have that fire burning within you, and you are meant to do it. This is just such a hot spread. There's a lot of fire and a lot of yellow and oranges and golds in here. It's so you need to act upon that fire. And it ends with the devil. Devil's in the details, right? So I'm looking at this, and the devil's looking up at the High Priestess, but the High Priestess is ignoring the devil. She is not looking at the devil. So this sort of makes me feel like the devil is what is going to stop you, right? That draw to the past, that draw to the old unhealthy patterns. So the changes that you're going through, you obviously are ready to break free from those old patterns, but there's always the potential for them to draw you back if you are not self-aware enough in the moments where you notice yourself being drawn back. I hope that makes sense. But the Mooncat and the High Priestess are here to help you trust your intuition so you do become more self-aware, so that you can trust yourself more, because that is what you are meant to do. You are meant to learn to trust yourself and believe in yourself, because a lot of times we have people in our life who just, and sometimes not even intentionally, but it's like they beat us down, or they make us feel like we can't do the things that we know in our heart we are meant to do, and you are meant to achieve those things. And this could be, something as mundane as starting a new career, starting a career path that maybe your parents don't want you to start. It could be as intense as like going through serious spiritual development, or a complete change of the way of living, right? But if you don't trust yourself, it's going to be so easy to fall backwards into old patterns, and allow other people to guide your life when you are the one that is supposed to be in charge. Okay. And I keep coming back to this book. Your story isn't written yet. So allow yourself to start writing your story. And you even think about doing that. Get a journal and start writing your story. How can you start trusting your intuition and believe that it's going to lead you to where you need to be? And even if you start trusting your intuitions, that doesn't mean it's going to be this clear-cut, well-blazed trail. There's going to be obstacles, but having the strength to overcome those obstacles and face them when they come up is going to be so much easier when you do trust your intuition. And it's going to help you get to where you need to be and write that story. Your meditation card is knowing, and look at that. It's that cools it down. This is really cooling the energy of these cards down. You know everything you need to know is within you. And it may just be a matter of balancing out that fire. It may just be a matter of learning to ground yourself and meditate when you are feeling overwhelmed or just going to go without any forethought. Okay. So that is what I have for you. And I hope that you got something from it. Thank you so much. Welcome in, my wise sages. This is a card that speaks to good counsel, good advice, being centered, being grounded. And how I'm kind of reading this is for anyone who you're the one that people always come to. You're the one that gives the good advice. You are the shoulder that people cry on. But sometimes the downside of being that person is we don't always know how to cry on others' shoulders. We don't know how to take advice of others, or we are hesitant to reach out sometimes if we need advice or help because we're so strong. Sometimes it can feel like a weakness, but sometimes we just don't want to burden other people with our problems, right? Because we're the one that they come to. So let's see what comes out for you, sages. 2, 3. Abundance and wisdom. I mean, good things come to those who help. Good things come to those who wait, but good things come to those who to those who help others. I mean, that doesn't seem bad to me. You have a lot of inner wisdom. you seem to have abundance with this abundance card, but I'm wondering, if you help others find abundance and you don't have enough abundance for yourself. Let's see. I don't know. It seems pretty positive so far. So let's see. Let's see what comes out in these tarot cards. Tarot. Everybody says them differently, right? Okay. Well, falling and sliding everywhere. Okay, let's see. What's interesting here is these arms look like they're praying, right? To me, this is, you are connected to a higher source, a higher, the universal consciousness, the universe, God, whatever it is. This sagely advice with you does feel like it is coming from a place of a deeper connection to the universe, right? To the collective conscious. And for you, it feels like that is abundance. It's like, what else do I need? I already have all of this. Like, how lucky am I? Two of Swords, Nine of Wands, and Nine of Air. And there it is. So while you do feel all of this, those who heal need healing themselves sometimes, right? And you're a survivor. This card right now is making me feel like a survivor, because while this card did come up, the Rider-Waite-Smith version of it popped up in my head immediately. And that is somebody who has been through battle, and they are strong. They have set up their boundaries. They have set up their defenses, but they haven't always necessarily. Okay, sorry, my microphone just died, so I have to reset. Anyway, these people have not always dealt with their own stuff. Yes, they have survived. They have gotten through the trauma. But sometimes they just bury it because they don't ask for help because of their strength. They feel that they can handle it themselves, and that can cause a lot of fear within, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry. And with this Two of Swords, it makes me feel like it's time to pick a different path. You innately know this, but it feels like you're at a crossroads, and it's almost like, how can I don't have time to do this for myself, right? But the time that you're putting into helping others is time you should be putting into yourself first. So that's something I'd like you to take into consideration. It is beautiful that you can help others. It is beautiful that you are the shoulder that people can cry on, but you're going to be more effective in helping them when you have helped yourself and worked through your own anxieties and fears. It's time to pick a new path. It may be difficult for you to see which path that is, but it's only going to make you more fortified going forward, and just really be of better service to others in the long run. So let's see how you can start to achieve this. Three of Earth and the Star. You look at them. The fox is holding her up so that she can help the crow take the apple. And how you can start to do this is allow yourself to rely on others a little bit. And I'm not saying for everything, but if you're in a bad place, or you're a little bit anxious or a little bit worried, find support. Find somebody that can help you build yourself up so that you can start to remove these fears from everything that you had to go through in the past, that you have been strong enough to get through, but that you may still be carrying around with you inadvertently. And keep holding on to your hopes and dreams. The Iris is usually present in Temperance, but the Iris bridges the inner and the outer worlds. And I really feel like your inner world has a little bit of fear within it, where your outer world is rich and vibrant. And I would like to see that alchemy of it, that balance come in, be more harmonious, right? Doesn't mean you're going to eradicate all of your fears, but they're not going to have as big of an effect over you anymore. Iris was the goddess who would go between, I believe, was able to go into the river Styx and go from the upper to the lower, right? From the above to the below. And you need to bridge that gap, right? But you're going to bridge that gap by allowing yourself to have others help you sometimes, and you not always be the one that does the helping. 5 of Fire. This may not be the easiest path for you. It may feel very uncomfortable. You may feel very vulnerable. You may go back and forth in your head about if this is the right thing. I don't need to do this. But ultimately, to be able to achieve your goals and the things that you want to do for yourself, you're going to have to heal this fissure at some point. And there's no better time than the present. Let me see. Yeah, what's interesting is here in this card, it's very black and white. It feels very disconnected. But you know, and it's almost like this is you in the middle and these are the people you help. And it's like they're just circling around you, waiting for you to do something for them. But in the 3 of Pentacles or 3 of Earth, they're there to help you. It's like you're just not seeing it. Your eyes aren't open here. You're not seeing it, but they are there to help you. And you just have to learn to get comfortable being a little bit more vulnerable than I think you like being. So let's see what meditation card comes up. I just noticed it's like this monkey. The card ends here, but it's like attached to the pattern. So it looks like his foot is extending off onto my cloth. I don't know, sorry. It's just noticing that now. All right, let's see what we have here. 1, 2, 3. Journey. Absolutely. This is a very big journey that you are about to undertake. Should you choose this mission? It's not easy. Learning to be vulnerable, learning to open up when we're the ones who are always giving the sage advice is not easy. It's scary. It's going to make us uncomfortable, but it is a journey, and it's a journey that can bring beautiful gifts more beautiful than we could have ever imagined, should we choose to accept that path. And this is the path that you need to take to really be able to live in that sage energy that is meant to be yours. So thank you for watching. I hope this helps, and I hope you got something out of it. Have a great day.